Hello there. Welcome to AI Late to Class.
Hello there. Welcome to AI Late to Class.
AI Late to Class is the best YouTube channel, so please subscribe.
After all these years, what have you got? You got nothing.
Why are you purple donkey?
I'd rather not answer that question.
Section 4 is already destroyed. Defeat is not in our blood, my friend.
Oh, the wind carries our soul to hearts tangled, forever strong.
Well, it's another episode of AI Late to Class, and I'm going to talk about Wan2GP and MultiTalk with two characters talking. If you haven't seen Wan2GP, this is an amazing product. It's a web user interface, sort of like Stable Diffusion. So it's like going back in time, like for all those people that were on Stable Diffusion and then had to move over to ComfyUI and found that intimidating and wanted Stable Diffusion to continue. Well, now we've sort of gone in reverse. We're going back to that web user interface, and we can leave away all the nodes and the noodles, maybe, because maybe we can't use this for all things. But I'm going to cover the multi-talk, two people talking, and the reason for that was I found ComfyUI was very difficult to get two people talking. That was just a lot of stuff, and I got frustrated, so I went and tried this, and I'm thinking I'm going to use it for a lot of stuff. It's just cleaner, just everything is working really well. So for those that didn't want to go to ComfyUI and found that very difficult, this is just simple, right? Drop down menu, here's all your models. It even downloads those models for you. You don't even have to do that. You have an image you can drop in if you're doing image to video, and then you just press generate. You do, however, have to go and find the LoRa's and put them in the LoRa folders, so that's another story. But overall, this is a really good product, and has a really good layout and easy to use. So let's have a look at what we need to be doing with this. On the Wan2GP website, just something to know before you get started is all those models, if you've got them stored in ComfyUI folder, you can't actually link to them. So this is the problem, is you're going to have to re-download them all again through Wan2GP. Unfortunately, the LoRa's, you can't link to them either. You're going to have to copy and paste them manually. So that's a bit annoying, because if you haven't got the hard drive space and you want to sort of flick between the two, that you're going to use up a lot of hard drive space. But anyway, here we are on the website. So you can do this as a manual install straight into your command prompt, or you can install Anaconda or Miniconda. This page, you've got to scroll down quite a long way right before you get to the install instructions. Come through here, once again, click install again. Then you get to the page here. This is very specific. You've got to be specific on this. So you probably won't do a normal command prompt because you may have another different type of Python that's going to mess things up, right? So I do have Anaconda and I do have miniconda, and just I like trying different things with both, but either one will do here. Miniconda is probably best if you want to get started and never used this stuff before. But you want to make sure that you have Python 3.10.9. Don't go for some new version that's going to really throw you out, and you're going to use that to set up your environment, right? So here we go. Download the website, stuff off the website there, git clone it, then change directory to Wan2GP, or you can call it what you want, but just make sure you know what you're doing. And you're going to create a Python 3.10.9, right? So conda create and Wan2GP Python. So we're allocating our Python there, then we're activating our environment. Now this is the important thing, right? The CUDA environment. I do have CUDA 1.26, right? So 12.6, and so it says here CUDA 1.2.4. That's okay if you want to install Sage Attention 1, which is 30% faster, but I want to install Sage Attention 2, right? So because it's 40% faster. So in this line here where it's got pip install 2.6, so got PyTorch 2.6, so that's all good. But at the end of it, I've changed mine to 1.2.6 because I wanted to put in Sage Attention too. And don't worry about flash attention, so you're only choosing one of these three, and you can get going. If you've mine's a 30xx, so if you have a 50xx, right, so you've got a different install instructions. I'm not going to go through that, but that's the install. Once you get it going, it'll run pretty good, and we're on the website here. And when I've dropped down this one, for me particularly, I've wanted to look for the MultiTalk model, and you can scroll down there and you can find all of the same sort of things. It's got quite a few models. It doesn't have all of them though, so it's not going to completely cover everything that was in ComfyUI, right? So for this one in particular, I've gone for Vase MultiTalk FusionX 14 billion parameter. So that's the one that I need for this. And when we come in here, you can have also, there's your LoRa's there, you can go for that. Probably use the light LoRa to get even more of a speed up. I haven't done that today, but I'm going to try that next time. You can, as you can see, continue video file, continue from last video. I haven't tried those yet. Also got control videos, so the Vase control pose and depth and all of that's in there as well, so that even gives you more control right there. In here I've got inject. I've chosen this first one, inject only people objects, and uploaded this photo here from Whisk, and it's got here keep backgrounds behind people, so I've just left that in there. I don't want to remove any background. You can if you want to take that out, and then Vase will go off and make its own thing. I've just, because I want to keep it the same so I know what I'm doing. And when I've done this one, because as you heard at the start, this is a harmonization, so I've chosen the last option here. Two speakers, speak audio sources are assumed to be played in parallel, and so I've put the audio track in there twice on both sides, the exact same audio track on both sides, and let it determine its thing. The prompt there, a woman and a man are singing in duo and harmony in a field. This here, just your normal 480p, so not the 720 model, but that's going there. Now this one's important. I've done, because it's 10 seconds, I've done 250 frames, sort of cut it off a bit at the end. Didn't quite get long enough because it was 10 seconds, right? 10 times 25 is 250, but there's always a little bit of edge at the end that you sort of miss, so I should have probably gone the 275. And inference steps 10, right? Because this has got the FusionX in it, and if I put the light LoRa in there, it'd also be 10. So if you weren't using FusionX, you'd be 2030 inference on there. You have a whole lot of things down the bottom here. This is the general one. You don't really need to change much of that. That stuff, obviously CFG stays to 1 because we're still using those speed ups. We're audio guidance, right? If it's not lip syncing, we can change that number there. That's where the actual area we would change. Don't worry about any of these things here. Going back over here, step skipping, this is where our T cache is. So I've got a T cache on 2 times speed up, and we can drop that down. We've got mag cache as well. It's in ComfyUI. I've had both of them turned on and found that both of them worked, so had 2 speed ups at once. So this is where this isn't sort of competing with Comfy, because it can't do both. It can only do one or the other. So yeah, there's one thing there, as well as the model list. That's only what is available. I'm not too sure if I can put things in its model file and they'll show up, but I haven't had a go at that yet. There's a whole lot of things at the top, as you can see, video mask creator guides, and you can go to the downloads and have a look what's there. But so yeah, listening to that, you can.
Oh, the wind carries our soul to hearts tangled, forever strong.
So yeah, song made off Udio, and then it comes out.
Oh, the wind carries our soul to hearts tangled, forever strong.
Probably the male's probably wasn't the best song there, but I needed something to as an example. You got LoRa's here as well, advanced LoRa's, and use that information there as well as your trigger words and things like that, and post-processing, so we can have a look at these things too, like rife and interpolate between frames. So that's there as well. And in our quality, we've got the skip layer guidance. I've just got that on 9 there. There's a sliding window, so when you are, and this is where I didn't say before, anything past 129 frames, it starts looking back at the frames prior and then the frames forward, and how it will keep the video flowing when you're going beyond the model's ability to force longer videos. So that's what that sliding window, you can adjust that so that it can go back even further or less, so that's quite good too. But that's pretty much it. Once you've got it, you just click generate, and that's your video. There's really nothing here. It's not the complexity that we see of ComfyUI. That's pretty much all there is. Sort of the same settings, just put in an easier manner. Yeah. On my giraffe one I did, the only change that I've had is on this drop down list is one person speaking only. And yeah, that's what you'll do when there's one there, so that's real easy. So for ones where people are talking to each other, one's talking first and the next one's talking, I've still gone down and chosen the option at the bottom, two speakers, audio sources are soon to be played in parallel. So as you can see in my audio files,
Section 4 is already destroyed. Defeat is not in our blood, my friend.
so you go into the audio program, and I'll show you that in a minute, and you can make sure that they're the same time, both tracks, but make one first and one second. It's a better option than if two speaker audio sources are assumed to be played in a row. You can do that, you can make it one audio file, but I've found that the parallel feature actually worked better. It was a better result. Two men talking. Keep your prompts real simple. Another thing here I've just forgotten about is you can export your settings files. So this is like your ComfyUI workflows, your JSON files, and then you can load from file or drop files. And the one thing I did find though, it does sort of error out. It doesn't take in all features. It grabs a couple things, but doesn't actually grab the whole lot, which is obviously they need to update that feature. But still the whole thing is pretty good. So the same thing for the cartoon here, there's no difference. I've still got it on the parallel, two speakers, put one audio one side, one on the other side, and the only difference is I'll change that to a prompt, cartoon of bear talking to a donkey, right? So it sort of knows, so it's got an understanding, and that came out really good when I generated that one. In my computer, that takes about 8 minutes to generate. I haven't got all of the speed ups on there, so I can get it down to less than that. I'm going to give that a go later on. For our audio, I'm just using Audacity here. This is a free software. I'll put the link in the comments. and I've just separated, one voice on one track, one the other. So I'll just press mute on here, and then I'll go file, export audio for that one, and then I'll come back, unmute that one and mute the other one, and then I'll export the other track. And so I've got 2 tracks there and put them in there. I mean, there's better applications than this if you've got paid things like Ableton and that, and you can really do EQs on the voices and stuff like that. You can fine tune all of this sort of stuff if you want to spend the time. Depends on how professional you want to be. And but anyway, that's how we're going to get our audio. I'll just go into 11 Labs. Right, I'm logged into 11 Labs here, and for this I've gone into text to speech. There's a whole lot of names here on the free account that you can see there. Along there's quite a few. Once I've got these ticked there, you got to pay for those ones, and you can test them out over there. They're okay. There's some of them that work okay. I could just choose this one here, but see this Try Voice Designer 3, so that's where you actually say what sort of voice you want. As you can see, a dark, deep, booming male voice. You get the idea. There's a whole lot of presets all down there, and this one also has the emotions, little tags that you can type in, and they're all very good. So once you've made it, make sure that you've got over 100 characters there, and you've made your voice. You can store that in, generate voice, and then that stores it, and then you can use it and generate your voice. And I think you're only going to get a few on that free account, maybe 3 or so on there. You do have a lot of credit, so you can generate 10,000 tokens and that, but it's your voice designer. You'd like to be able to design a few more, so the paid account is where that comes in. If you're going to be doing a lot of this, I suggest you go to the paid account and do that. But text to speech is really good quality on here. I tried the new Hume, that's apparently better. I didn't find that at all. It found that it came out with real AI sounding voices, so I still default back to 11 Labs. And I mean, there's the free ones. I'll probably do some videos on some of the free ones. I prefer to just try and clone vocals and do it that way, and then I can get what I want. But if it's text to speech, there is some good free products out there. On the Udio website here, just a folk song with a female singer, and I'm just doing that straight so that it can actually suggest lyrics and things like that. You can upload your own lyrics, as you can see here, custom made, and do that sort of thing, and you can use styles. There's so much you can do on here. Click create. I prefer the vocals on this above Suno. They're very close. I would say these two are the best in audio generation for music. Refusion's quite good too. It's worth having a go at all 3 and just seeing the results you get with the same prompts, and try all sorts of things. I will be doing a video on the free one, Ace, at some stage, because there's a few extra things you can do. But let's just have a listen to this.
Whose is the voice that will guide me? Whose is the dream I will chase? Whose is the love that I will find when I tumble through time and space? Shadows we wander through the night, I'll responder. Whose is the heart that breaks in time? Whose is the voice that seems so clear? Whose is the path we walk alone as whispers dance upon the sphere? In shadows deep I find my way, through endless night I seek the day.
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive stuff. That's yeah, the vocal on that is quite good. First time, I just get so surprised at first time. Don't even need a prompt again, just one go, and it's just amazing. Yeah, so really impressive product. The only other one that I know similar to this is FramePack, but that's limited to the Hunying models only, where this has all the models and heaps of extra features. It's just the products are not even comparable. Get to me in the comments if you're going to change from ComfyUI to this. I'm probably going to try and use it more than ComfyUI if I can. Just depends on the workflows, I guess. But for people that don't want to get into ComfyUI, this is really the way to go. And I think it's the thing to watch. This is always going to be improving. Hopefully they can get some links sorted out to a models folder, so that we don't have to have lots of folders with the same models in them and that, because it's just going to take up a lot of space. But I've been noticing the updates to this are moving really fast. So we're up to v7.12 and it's just going to keep going. Yeah, so subscribe and we'll see you in the next video.